I cannot wait to share with you the exciting news that we got for this video. So this right here is a biotope tank, meaning it's trying to simulate or mimic an existing ecosystem on Earth. And if you can guess what ecosystem I'm trying to simulate with this biotope, it's the Amazon. More specifically, the edges of the tributaries where there's lots of dead branches and brambles in the water. Now, the actual Amazon would be a lot more messy with a lot more smaller branches and stuff, but I tried to kind of keep the more messy complexness on this side of the tank, and on this side we have more larger branches, which are they're really beneficial for the water quality, which is why you see the water has this sort of brown quality to it right now. It's because this wood is constantly releasing tannins into the water, and tannins are really good for your fish's health, your plant's health in a number of ways. For example, if your fish ever gets like a cut on his scales or gets some of his or her fins ripped, the tannins in the water actually speed up the healing process, and that's just one of the ways tannins help your fish out. And we also got these live plants here, and this awesome light. It's a Hygger HG162 simple light, and this light, believe it or not, was actually sent to me for free by the company themselves, because they really liked my past few aquarium videos, and I was like, hey, why not? I actually needed a light for this exact tank, so it was very timely. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about this ecosystem and the importance that light has to play. A lot of people skimp out on light when they get an aquarium. They invest a lot of money into the tank, the filtration and stuff, but they don't think too much about the light. But I will say, if you're going to invest in any part of the aquarium, I would recommend to invest mainly in the light and the soil, because the soil is what your plants is going to uptake nutrients from, and the light is what they're going to photosynthesize from. So the goal here is to really establish a healthy plant community, because if you got a lot of plants, whatever animals you have, shrimps, fish, they're just going to thrive, because whatever waste they produce, the plants will eat up and use that for growth. So you want to give your plants the best possible environment, and if you're not giving them a full spectrum light, you're setting those plants up at a disadvantage, because they're not going to be able to photosynthesize right. And I got some fish in here, 6 autosynkless catfish and 6 amano shrimp. So that's my janitorial staff crew right there, because I don't want any of the algae that's very difficult to get off. I don't want none of that forming on the tank. So you'll see amano shrimp throughout this tank. Amano shrimp and autosynkless, they are the all-stars when it comes to algae cleaning, and the Siamese algae eaters are as well. But I don't have any Siamese algae eaters in here because they grow kind of big, very big actually, at full size, and I'm not really about getting fish and then returning them back when they get big. I'm trying to think long term, how to set up a functional ecosystem long term. So this tank is going to have nothing but 2 angelfish, and they're going to be my angelfish from downstairs. And that pair of angelfish, they've actually paired up, and they're giving me eggs every week, every 1 to 2 weeks. So they're going to just be doing that in this tank once they're up here. But yeah, so for the light, it's a full spectrum light, meaning it mimics the wavelengths of the sun. You get red, green, blue, white, all these different colors of light for that full spectrum. You can do research on that. I don't want to dive too deep into the science behind it. I just will say, I will summarize it in that full spectrum light allows your plants to photosynthesize properly, create food from light. You know, that's why they're different from animals. Plants are able to create food from energy that they obtain from light. And if it's not the proper type of energy, they're not going to be able to convert that energy into food if it's not the proper light spectrum. If it's just like any old light that you found and you just stuck that on your tank, they're not going to be able to convert energy from that light into food, and they're going to wilt and die and melt on you, and you're going to waste a lot of money on live aquatic plants, all because you didn't buy a full spectrum light. So the full spectrum light is huge, and yeah, there are other companies, but companies like Hygger, right, the reason they're better is because they're meant for aquariums. So they come with a lot of features so that, and I've made this mistake before, I've bought hydroponics lights meant for just hydroponics, indoor plant growth, and I had to modify those lights because they didn't come with a stand for an aquarium. So it was just added work, and it's very time consuming overall after purchasing a hydroponics light, making it the height adjusted for my tank. Whereas for this, I just plug it into an outlet, and it comes with the stand for your aquarium, and that's really huge because you don't want to spend too much time just setting the thing up. As for the settings, we have this thing right here which will actually brighten or dim the light, so that's pretty self-explanatory. See, now it's dimmed up, and over here it's brighter, so now it's bright again. And this is a timer, so you can use this timer. Right now I have it off right now because I'm still setting this tank up, doing some adjusting, but you can set it to a 3-hour timer, a 6-hour timer, a 9-hour timer, or even a 12-hour timer, and that will replicate the entire 24-hour light cycle that occurs naturally. So it's going to mimic the sunset, it'll even mimic the moonlight. And this one right here will allow you to change the colors. So you see how it turned pink, blue. You're going to get a lot of selection of colors here if you just keep flipping through it. Red, green, pink, blue. I like to keep it on the sun icon. With full spectrum I have the red, the green, the blue, the yellow. So that's the spectrum of light that live plants need to photosynthesize properly. And I actually like how the aerator over there at the back end of the tank is creating a bit of a flow to push the floaters away from this part of the tank, because I need the light to go down in this part of the tank to reach my jungle val scenario, which are on the back side of the tank, so it works out perfectly. So the jungle val are able to get their light, the floaters are able to get their light. It just works out, especially because it's height adjustable. Like, it's huge. If this stand was not here, I would have had to do so much extra work to get this height up, and it's very crucial to get that height up instead of just laying the light on the lid of the tank, because these floaters over here won't get any light if it's that close to the top of the tank. You gotta think, like, once the water's all the way full, the floaters are going to be literally up here, and if the light is almost on the surface of the water, it's not going to be able to give light to the floating plants that are away from directly underneath the light. So it's a perfect setup, honestly. Having that additional height above the lid of your aquarium is huge. But yeah, I just wanted to share how it's coming along. We have these logs sticking out, and it's a beautiful tank, especially when you look at it from the top. It makes you feel like you're in the Amazon rainforest. And I know what that feeling's like. I've been there with Paul Rosley, a team of people, for like a week, you know, deep into some of the wildest parts of the Amazon rainforest. And I've been in other parts of the jungles of South America, part of my research trips with Miami University. Yeah, over here we got the RODI system that I worked out. It's super simple, but I'm about to do a water change on this tank. Not that I don't like the brownness of the water, it's because this tank is still cycling. So whatever ammonia is building up, I want to kind of take out as much as possible, because I don't want the autosynclus in here to suffer from any amount of ammonia in this tank, because this tank is still cycling. The plants really help with that because they'll suck up ammonia, excess ammonia, nitrates, but I just don't want my animals to experience any more molecules of ammonia than they have to. So I'm doing just like a 30-40% water change, and I guess that's not a small water change, but it's going to be remineralized RODI water. I use Seachem Alkaline Buffer and Seachem Equilibrium. I use Seachem Equilibrium first, get that fully dissolved, then I add in the Alkaline Buffer, and then just a few drops of Seachem Prime, because I don't have a chloramine filter. Your RODI units, a lot of them won't take out chloramine until you get a chloramine filter. But it's an easy solution for that. It's Seachem Prime. It'll break the bond of chloramine, and then the aeration here will cause the remainder molecules to evaporate out. So chloramine won't build up in this tank, is what I'm trying to say by everything I just said about the Seachem Prime and how that will break apart the chloramine. So it's literally the best quality water possible that you can have in a tank if you do the RODI remineralization method. Alright guys, that's it for this one. Check out the link for the HG162. Honestly, the link I'll include will take you to the Hygger website. You can find out any light that you need for your particular situation. They also have a lot of other products, so make sure to check out the link for that, for the Hygger's product line, and use the coupon code Primordia for 10% off for whatever you purchase. Again, it's a great company. I mean, I can't think of any way to make the product better, and my plants are loving it. So obviously I'm going to be posting update videos on how it goes, but I really doubt it's not going to work. It's full spectrum lighting right here. Stay tuned for more updates on this tank and more science-related content here on the Primordia Science channel. Until next time, and remember, keep it wild.